head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine.
Todd's singing voice.
Richie, this is Chrissy freaking Teigen. We have physical contact with her. What are we doing on our side? Let's get on our back. Full creep ahead. Yeah.
I love being creepy. Let's just keep things pure. You're married. Perhaps just the smell of her hair then?
This is a supermodel. All bets are off. This is justifiable.
Let's just go back to the hotel, and we'll take a nap.
Oh, we ain't napping. Grab the lotion.
Look, you're gonna be tuckered out after a light lunch and the box score.
Chicken
parm?
Salad. Okay, salad.
Starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danets in Milford, Connecticut. Gentlemen, the story regarding Sepp Blatter resigning came out yesterday after the show. Now, Paulie, would you rather have a story like that come out towards the end of that third hour, or would you rather have it drop the next day and just cover it completely?
Towards the end of the third hour? No, that's actually the kiss of death for me. The worst would be a story breaking at 11:45 a.m. Eastern, where we have no time to deal with it. I would actually prefer when a story hits around maybe half an hour before showtime or mid-show, so we could like react and then develop our reaction as the show goes along.
Well, it's a big one, and you had ESPN soccer guru Bob Lee on today, and Dan asked him if Sepp Blatter would still be in power if the U.S. were hosting a World Cup.
Yes, I really think that. Anyone, I mean, unless you want to subscribe to Vladimir Putin's line of thinking, which is a dangerous avenue to walk down. I think that, this involves the DOJ, the FBI, American banking laws, hundreds of millions of dollars, allegedly. I don't think that this investigation goes back to 2011, and it's been going on for 3 years. And yes, it was months after the vote for Qatar and for 2018, but I don't think there's a straight line from the U.S. feeling there was an untoward vote to this investigation. I don't buy that.
Kind of feels like if the U.S. had gotten the World Cup and then investigated and started arresting all of these people for, racketeering or all of this bribing scandal, wouldn't we just be arresting our own side? Like, wouldn't we be investigating our own people who are bribing people to get this sort of? Not to say that we don't do that, right. But it kind of, we're just going to look the other way on that one, because why would we want to tear ourselves?
I didn't think about that. What if the next shoe to drop is that Sepp Blatter, before he leaves, announces that amongst the bribes that they got for the World Cup for 18 and 22 is a $20 million bribe from the U.S. government, right. Or U.S. Department of Commerce said, we'll give you $25 million if, because
a lot of those are companies that there were like Visa. There were league or company corporate officials that were also indicted in this. That's not to say that there's plenty of big companies based here.
And what's the return policy on those bribes? If you give someone $20 million and your country doesn't end up getting it, there's a certain percentage you got to give back. It's like, we actually went with Russia, so I'll give you like 15, but I'm still going to keep 5.
There's a scene in The Wire, the TV show The Wire, where this guy who's a drug dealer trying to become legitimate bribes a congressman, and for the bribe he wanted like access to something, and he didn't get it. And he didn't get what he wanted. And the congressman, he goes, I want my money back. He goes, it doesn't work that way. He goes, that doesn't work that way. He goes, he wanted a sure thing. He goes, you got to give me sure thing money. That's why he goes like that.
Right.
DP asked Lee if this was the most impactful moment in U.S. soccer history. Now notice the Paulie disagree face.
Was this? No. The most impactful moment in USA soccer history was Landon Donovan's goal in South Africa in 2010, because that got everybody buying in. So you got to separate the politics from the reality of the game. I mean, people are still going to watch the game, no matter how dirty it is, no matter how much squalor exists in the executive suites, no matter how much it might get cleaned up. When the ref kicks, whistles the ball into play, and the first kick is taken, people are going to watch. People are going to watch Saturday for the Champions League final, despite all the questions of money and financial fair play.
That was a strong disagree face, Broccoli. Yeah, I think both Brock and I think we asked someone about that the other day, and they said, no, it's not. Remember, impactful and important are two different things. Like, Landon Donovan's goal was impactful. What was the impact? It was a really great moment. I don't know if it changed soccer in America or...
Boy, that's your guy.
I kind of thought you would have been like,
biases here. Like, I like Landon Donovan, but his goal was really important to USA Soccer in that week and what they did in the World Cup. But, I think David Beckham coming here was more impactful. But taking down...
David Beckham coming here is definitely the most impactful thing.
Oh my gosh. It took MLS soccer from this shrubby little league to a world... They're getting to be a world power. And, taking down the FIFA president who's going to his 5th term, that's more impactful than a goal.
This is affecting everyone. I even noticed that Fritzy is wearing a Manchester United shirt today. Is this going to change your soccer viewing habits?
I don't think I'm going to change my soccer viewing habits. I have watched more soccer in recent years, especially through these guys, just hearing them talk about it and see their passion, and with the World Cup and everything, men's and women's. I got a little more into it. I've watched a little bit with my son. He's, through whether video games he's playing or just watching matches if there's an off day or off night with other major sports. But today we had Bob Lee coming on, and this Sepp Blatter FIFA thing was in the news.
You're wearing that because of stories, because you fit into it now. I mean, it's okay. I respect you.
It's part of it, but I've won this before, and I've won the Dewsbury one. But I wanted to go soccer today because our lead guest was soccer, and because I knew this whole soccer stuff was going on, and I just felt like being in a soccer mood. But it is nice that this does fit.
One of my favorite moments in show history is soccer related with Landon Donovan. Landon Donovan's playing his last match for USA Soccer. About 10 minutes from Fritzy's house, and almost had to beg him on national TV and radio to take free tickets of Landon's to the game. I remember, what was the Fritzy's line? Why wouldn't I want to go?
Why wouldn't I go?
It was
I don't know.
It was so classic Fritzy, and the fact that you have the best soccer player in U.S. history asking you to come with some of his extra tickets.
I was a little sad. I was shockingly on the fence.
But it was so funny in the moment, that segment. I wish you could play that again.
Well, let's take a look back at that great moment when Fritzy gave Landon the Heisman.
Fritzy's right down the street. So.
Yeah, I live only about 10 minutes away from him.
But you're not a soccer.
Fritzy just doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
I care very much about Landon. The honest answer is, and I know the guys in the front are going, is tomorrow is my birthday and I have family plans. And if I didn't, then maybe if I had a ticket, then maybe I would.
What if he got tickets for you for your birthday?
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a whole other story. That's something that I would honestly strongly consider.
If you want to go, you let me know.
I appreciate that very much.
Fritzy, the answer is yes, isn't it?
Why wouldn't we go? It's a great way to spend.
He still won't commit.
He won't.
I don't commit to anything.
That's even better than I thought. Look, Fritzy's big head back then, and
why wouldn't we go?
Why wouldn't we go? Which means I'm not going at all, but I don't want to say that on national TV.
How could you not go?
Great.
Packed up the whole family though, and ended up there pressured into going to a game you didn't want to go to.
Didn't want to go. Which is even more interesting. The fact that you so didn't want to go to that and schlep all the way there.
We ended up having a very good time, and it should have been a more immediate yes. But I was with my wife and son and daughter. I saw the guys a few rows in front of me there. We were like,
You almost walked down and said hi.
I almost did. I think I waved to you guys. I was right there.
I walked up and said hello. Actually,
we were right there.
But usually the two-man. What's the etiquette there? You have two families. You and I were right next to each other. Fritzy's family there.
I think there was some tension about our tickets being up front and yours being further back. I think that was maybe.
He gave the reluctant seats to him, the energetic.
Right. We got in early. We asked for these seats because it's an important event. You got the, we're dragging you along.
He's on the fence. I'm not going to give him the really, really good seats. If he's like not even, he's doing me a favor, I put him on the spot, so he's just reluctant to go.
How can you do that to poor Landon Donovan? Soccer has all the great names. Sepp Blatter, Landon Donovan. Hey, coming up, we're talking about another fun name, Buzz Bissinger. You know what gives me a natural buzz? Stepping on the gas of my Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Any truck can climb a hill, haul a trailer, tow a boat, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. Welcome back to the Box Score. An interesting guest on the DP show today. Author Buzz Bissinger joined the program. Now, Bissinger, known for writing the book Friday Night Lights, and has recently penned the cover story for Vanity Fair about Caitlyn Jenner. Paul, I don't want to date you, but do you know Jenner as the athlete or Jenner as the reality television star?
Mostly the athlete. I have never really watched the show, the Kardashian show. I didn't really know he was on it until recently. But I remember Bruce Jenner really well. I was a kid. I think I was 6 when he won the Olympics, but you could not know who he was. He was a household name. Wheaties box. He was on Chips. He was the great American boy. I mean, good-looking, feathered hair down the middle that we all aspired to have when we were that age.
See, I know him as the Olympian, but because of TV. I was too young for the for the Olympics. I don't even think I was born yet when he won the Olympics. But I know him as an Olympian on TV because he was on Chips as the guy from the Olympics. Like, hey, here's the American hero, you know, Bruce Jenner. And so I'm sort of a hybrid of that. I know him as the TV star Olympic guy, but not the Kardashian.
Well, back to Bissinger. He talked about Jenner and his pain while wrestling with his sexual identity.
What I learned was really globally just how much pain he went through as Bruce. How much agony, how much confusion, how much deceit, how much lying. And the one quote in the story that resonates the most to me is he had his beard. You know, he went through a transition in the late 1980s. He started and then he stopped. He said he chickened out. But he had his beard removed. Having your beard removed, because I actually know about this, is really unbelievably painful today. And I said, well, you know, at least you had pain medication. He said, no, I didn't use pain medication. I said, why? You're a masochist? And he said, well, sort of, because I felt I deserved the pain. I deserved the pain because of who I was. And that just nailed me in the gut.
It's such a complex story and thing to really sort of do justice, even in a 3-hour show. Not that we spent 3 hours on it, but like the complexities of everything that we're talking about. I kind of get really irritated when it's reduced down to some type of, like, this Caitlyn Jenner story is reduced down to some type of ploy for attention or a reality show. It really, really bothers me to have that storyline, because I don't know that people really think, you know, to imagine identifying as a woman and being stuck in a man's body and the torture that must have been for 65 years. But I look at, like, gender identity as something, like, say, colorblind, okay? You might look at a brown object and see green. Right. And for some reason, your brain is telling you that this green thing is brown, even though it's not, you know? And I can totally imagine and see how it's possible that the brain identifies as a woman and is in a male body, you know? The brain, the mind is an incredibly, you know, complex thing.
And just living a total lie for so many years, and that kind of torment, and when no one's home, getting dressed in, like, you know your mom or your sister's clothes and everything like that. He was telling Diane Sawyer, and just that's got to be just absolutely awful.
I always think, like, we're not even that old, but I bet in everyone's lifetime there's changes in society from when they were 15 years old to when they're 50. But, like, if I remember when in the 70s, if you would have gone back to, like, the 80s, 70s, 80s, told me there'd be a world-famous athlete that would do this and be celebrated for it. Mostly celebrated, mostly patted on the back, at least publicly. Publicly, I know there's a lot of other people who disagree with what Bruce Jenner's doing. But
not to mention a black president.
Tell me a mixed-race president, a woman this close to the White House. Hillary Clinton's
absolutely,
and it's almost
a shot.
And it's a non-story that she's
it's barely a story.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Just we're not that old.
Right.
And you think about it. I mean, my grandfather probably remembers when there was not cars, and there's cars, and there's planes.
Yeah.
But now there's less developments like that.
Yeah, I think of like my grandmother. The differences that she's seen from when she was a kid up until today.
No.
You know, mind blowing.
Hey, McLovin, do you think Dan would leave the show if the money were right, if it meant he could have a regular role on the Kardashians?
Wow. You know, Dan gets some other Hollywood offers, game shows. We know he's a thespian. I think he likes to watch reality TV. I think that deep down, though, he kind of...
Thespian.
I gotta tell you, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Dan has secret aspirations to be on a reality show. It's not the craziest thing ever. Like, for example,
as a regular or like
that real estate show you guys watch, I think Dan would like an appearance on that one.
Well, I've talked to Dan about this before. I thought we could make some calls and say if he sold his apartment or bought an apartment, even buy one, like that show is, you know, not exactly up to code, you know what I mean? I think he could get a $1 million listing in New York really easy. I think they would put him on. He's pretty famous.
Well,
too.
I thought, you know, there was that time, like, when he first really got into the show, he reminded us about a dozen times, hey, don't forget $1 million listing on Wednesday, whatever night it's on. And he reminded us a lot. He was sending us texts, don't forget this tonight. And I thought he was on the show. That's why I thought he wanted us to watch so bad. And so I watched, and at the end of it, I texted him, I was like, dude, did I miss you or something or what? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Just watch it.
Weren't you on the show? No, I just wanted you to see Frederick.
By the way,
like, you know, all the guys. You're like,
there was a guest the other day who mentioned a detail of a Kardashian show from last week, and Dan picked up immediately on it. It's like, oh yeah, you mean when, yeah, but Rob wasn't there.
Yeah,
Dan like threw it out.
Dizdick or whatever his name is.
Like, for example, he'll talk about New York Legends. He doesn't
Did you
talk
see when
about
Scott
that he watched
Disick did that?
Kardashians
That was
when
crazy.
he clearly watched the Kardashians.
Well, maybe he moves out to Los Angeles to get a place in the Calabasas. Then you got Bieber, Patrick, and the Kardashians. It's greatness. All right, coming up, the Danettes battle for Dan's Cup. His cup? What? Can't be right. We're back here on the box score. Huge night in hockey tonight. It's the Blackhawks and the Lightning. First game of the Stanley Cup final. Now, we know not everyone is up to speed on the Stanley Cup, so that's where we come in. It is row versus row, and a little something we call the Danley Cup final. I will saucer you a little question. You just simply need to tap it in the net. If it is a power play, the responses are worth 2. The first question is for the back row. Who name the Chicago Blackhawks coach?
Joel
Quenneville.
Quenneville.
Is pronunciation important?
Joel Quenneville? Quenneville?
Never
Joel
on
Quenneville.
this. Is it Joel Quenneville?
Score! Oh my God! Score!
You are correct, sir. You are correct. Very good. On to the front row. Same question, different team. What is the name of the Tampa Bay Lightning's coach?
And all time, because I can eat Tortorella was there a few years ago.
Barry Melrose.
Barry Melrose, I don't think so. Scotty Bowman.
Definitely coached there.
Not Herb Brooks, not Scotty Bowman.
Can we steal?
Jans Klingman.
Jurgen
Klinsmann.
The U.S. soccer coach?
Yeah, no.
How about, let's go with Sutter.
Yes, I thought he was the Kings coach. Maybe he got fired.
It ends in Chuck.
Boychuk. Boychuk.
We have no idea.
Yeah, is it the author of Fight Club? Something Chuck.
I'm gonna get you in the cup check.
Stick save!
Sorry, gentlemen, you are incorrect. Back row, you can steal.
It's already up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna say John Cooper.
I whispered to McLevin. I did whisper to McLevin John Cooper.
Front row got it right just in time there. Nice recovery there. Okay,
Make it a little easy.
back row is up. And uh-oh.
Go ahead, Alex. That was correct. You did that. I did that.
Looks like we got a power play.
We'll edit this
The
later.
Lightning only has one Stanley Cup champion player on its roster. He won a cup with an original 6 team that is not Chicago. Which team is it?
How about Samuelson?
Desjardins.
Not the player, but the team that he won.
That is a great guess.
Fritzy, that's a good guess.
Oh, you don't need the players, so we could go with a 2013 Blackhawk, their original 6, right? Or a Bruin.
Yeah.
Bruin. Let's go with Bruins.
Okay.
Boston Bruins.
What team did he play
Yeah,
for?
was it the Boston
I'm gonna get you in the
Bruins?
cup check.
I'm sorry, you were incorrect.
Blackhawks have won a couple of times.
Kings won a couple of times.
Yeah. It's one of those two. Who did you guys guess?
No.
Who did they guess?
They guessed.
That's impossible.
Your response, please.
Who'd you guys guess?
We guessed Bruins.
Bruins.
Bruins. I'd say Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
No, the correct answer is the Detroit Red Wings. And it's Valtteri Filppula, I think. Vilpula.
You said?
Yeah, I guess I was thinking.
Filppula.
I was thinking Iserman, who's the GM, but he's not a player.
Okay.
Weiserman.
To the front row, how many Stanley Cup trophies are there?
How many Stanley Cup
One?
trophies are there?
Trick question.
Very
Could it be?
SAT thing.
Is it tricky to rock around the clock?
Is there like a traveling one and then like one that goes to the...
Is it a Stanley Cup? Is it
And do they both have a special handler that walks around with white gloves?
with hair parted down the middle?
Yeah. I would say just one.
One.
Is it 1?
I'm gonna get you in the cup check.
Sorry, denied. Back row, do you want to guess on how many cups there are?
You think 2 or
Yeah,
4?
I'm gonna say 2. That there's one backup one.
Well, you were close. It's 3. There are 3. There's the original cup that's retired, the presentation cup, which is presented on the ice, and of course the replica cup that has all those bad things happen to it. Back row.
How about that?
Henri Richard, younger brother of the Rocket, won more Stanley Cups than any other player. How many did he win?
It's who cares an option here.
You can't say who cares.
Okay.
I like hockey.
I'm trying to think who's the most.
I like hockey too, but not necessarily hockey trivia.
Yeah.
Especially when no one has
I'm
any
trying to think
idea.
who the most Stanley Cups won was like 6, 7. There will be one more than that.
But it's a player. He could have been on multiple teams. Let's
Guess
say
6 or 7.
How many Stanley Cups?
He's like Charles Haley's a guy in the NFL, like 6.
Yeah. I feel like
Maybe let's go 8.
Okay.
Because he could have been on a run.
Is it Maurice or Henri?
It is
That's
Henri.
Henri.
Is it 8, you said?
Yeah, we went 8.
8. Is it 8?
Stoned.
I'm gonna get you in the cup check.
Yeah. You're stoned.
Oh, 6-8.
Look for you guys are dominating. Just like real hockey. You're way ahead by one right question. You're way ahead with
steal
one
it?
right answer.
You want to steal this one, guys?
5?
5.
Yes.
Oh, you should have added those and added 1. It is 11 is the response we're looking for. 11, of course. Henri Richard.
8 and 5, and you added 1 would be 13.
Front row is up here, and here we go.
Oh, is it?
8 and 5 and add 1.
Oh, add 1.
Oh, 8, 5, add 1.
I think that's what he said.
Front row is up. Here we go.
All of us.
I can't. Should I do it, Dan? Come on.
He wants it.
He wants power play time. Here's your question. Each team is represented by one of the 2 leading scorers in the playoffs. Patrick Kane is in second place. Who is the leader?
Does that?
I mean, they can't both be. The Lightning, I know, are the leading scoring team in
Definitely.
I would say it's got to be either him. I mean, it couldn't be Kane and Hayes.
Now, each team is represented by one of the 2 leading scorers in the playoffs. Back row, would you like to steal?
Hossa.
Yes, we like to steal. It is my man, Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson.
Bring it
Is it
on,
Tyler
hockey
Johnson?
expert McLovin.
Let's go! Oh my God!
Tyler Johnson.
Congratulations.
How about
Today's
that?
Stanley Cup champions are
Brought it home, man.
the back row. Congratulations.
Very strong.
You more hockey than any of us. Put that on your wall. This is the box score,
Andrew
and
knows
we
John.
are taking a break from this fun. And remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. And it might even start in the Stanley Cup final. I'm not sure. Would be the leading scorer, that's for sure. Guts, glory, Ram.
I think that matters.
Welcome back to the box score. Closing up shop here at the Saloon. Guys, the Lightning are making things a little tough for Blackhawk fans traveling to Tampa. Apparently, they are making it difficult for out-of-town credit cards to purchase tickets through Ticketmaster, and they are not allowing Blackhawks jerseys in the lower bowl. Now, Seton, is this a gamesmanship, unsportsmanlike, or is it just no big deal?
No, I would say it's pretty lame, especially when you think of great hockey markets. Florida, anywhere in Florida doesn't necessarily come to mind. So I have a little bit of a problem trying to shut out Chicago and a great organization.
It does seem like
like that.
It does seem like it should be illegal. I don't know how you could not let.
You shouldn't be allowed to have it then.
Right.
You shouldn't be allowed to even have the game.
Yeah, because I mean, if you don't allow people to buy your products based on what state they're from, what else can you do to not let people buy your products?
I understand, like, okay, so you're not going to be allowed to wear the jersey in, like, an unlimited alcohol area.
Yes.
I get that. I do get that, because you're just trying to keep, like, order, but making it difficult to buy tickets is just embarrassing.
Paulie, my first hockey game was Chicago and the Blues in Chi-Town. What is the most hostile sports crowd you've ever witnessed in person?
Hostile. I've been to some Jets games where the opposition, I felt like when I was in the bathroom at a Jets game and it was maybe Jets Bills or someone like that. No, it's Jets Dolphins. And there's a couple guys with Dolphins jersey on. I thought they were going to get their asses kicked.
I went to Dolphins Jets 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it was embarrassing the way Jets fans behaved. I just saw these 2 dudes come walking down holding like some a tray of goodies and a couple of beers or whatever, and they're in their Dolphins gear, and they didn't make it down 10 rows before they were just being pelted with everything. People yelling stuff, cursing. It was embarrassing. It was just disgusting.
Jets are tough.
Dude, you guys are amateurs. Come to Philly.
Oh, Philly, when they have the prison on the bottom
Come
of the
to an
stage.
Eagles game or any Mets-Phillies game in
Throwing
July
batteries
in the 80s.
at Darryl Strawberry. Yeah, I remember.
Because Philly really prided itself on being barbarians at the game. You know, and it was kind of sad.
But you
Jets,
think it would be
Jets
more-
are right there. I've been in Jets.
You're sort of the little brother of northeastern cities, so I get it. You got a little bit of a Napoleon complex.
But you would think football or hockey would be more violent than baseball.
Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
We will talk to Doc Emmerich, NBC NHL play-by-play voice off of tonight's Game 1. Reggie Miller will join us to preview Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And Matt Stainbrook, our former intern, is former Xavier center. He just tried out for the Lakers and Suns. He's got, I think, the Clippers coming up and a few other teams he's going to be trying out for. He's going to join us as well.
Good for him. All right, thank you, gentlemen. We are back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Audience, Channel 239. The podcast, of course, is available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Cheers, stand back.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!